Hello, monkeys. Today we're talking about the Broly movie from 2018. Now, I'm not a big Dragon Ball guy. The most I know is from Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Fuck are you?
Name's Bobbity, son of Bibbity.
That's stupid.
In the few episodes I've watched. But we have two experts here, Jonathan and Kevin, today.
How flattering. Thank you.
I wouldn't call me an expert, but I definitely enjoy it.
Yeah, you certainly
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan myself as well, but there's definitely tons of people above me in that field.
Yeah,
I'm still a diehard Dragon Ball fan, though.
Jonathan puts this shit on DVD. He's more of an expert than I am.
So
I know a thing or two.
This movie was pretty big when it came out. One of my favorite movie reviewers are Double Toasted. They did a movie review of this movie, and I was very entertained watching it because this guy is not, he's more like, I guess, in my camp, had some understanding of Dragon Ball history and stuff, and he was just trying to keep up. He was pretty lost on a lot of it, but hey, I'm right there with him. But what do you guys got to say right off the bat from this movie?
It is probably the most intensely. I would definitely argue probably the best animated Dragon Ball movie, or maybe even piece of Dragon Ball. Period.
They did a great job mixing in CGI with 2D animation that we love Dragon Ball to be in.
And then even then, they managed to constantly change the actual style of the anime. Like some frames, it's all more light, like manga-esque, and some of them you get the hard, bold lines, from anime.
My biggest thing, I remember why I didn't like Dragon Ball GT was because of the animation, but I feel like they did a great job with this Dragon Ball Super movie, with keeping it still crisp but clean.
So this is Dragon Ball Super. What is the difference between the different Dragon Ball? Because there's Dragon Ball Z, there's Dragon Ball GT, and now there's Dragon Ball Super. What is all that?
Don't even remember I said Dragon Ball GT. Just take that out. That never happened.
Something weird's going on here, and I don't like the sound of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is non-canon.
Even if it was canon, fuck that show. It never happened.
Don't forget to smile! Don't forget to smile!
Indeed.
GT never happened, alright?
It's time to unleash my most devastating attack!
That's entirely non-canon, so... I remember watching a few episodes when I was a kid.
You're probably thinking to yourself when you watch it, man, I wish this show never happened.
Right?
I cracked myself up!
Mine is Super Saiyan 4. That was pretty sick.
Super Saiyan 4 is pimp, especially, is it Vegeta or Gogeta?
Vegeta, Goku, and Gogeta can all go Super Saiyan 4 in GT.
Well, no, I was asking, in GT, was it Vegito or Gogeta?
Oh, it was Gogeta.
Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 with the red fur and the red hair was... it was mighty pimp.
Yeah, the OP is fuck.
But the story and just the animation, everything else in GT can fuck up. If they ever make Super Saiyan 4 canon, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Well, it actually reflected the Ozaru route.
I'm right there with it, man.
Well, a lot of the power of the Saiyans from the very beginning has always been Ozaru, which is like that great ape form that we know. When they stare into the moon, their own kind of werewolf thing. And Super Saiyan 4 plays a lot on that primal.
In Super Saiyan 4, they grow their tails back.
Yeah. And there's some of the things, the ape wakens up from within them kind of thing, in the animation at least.
Oh, okay, so...
But this has nothing to do with the movie that we're trying to
Yeah, we're still talking about GT. Okay, so fucking just forget GT ever fucking happened.
It never happened.
Sorry.
Basically, at the end of Z, before Goku goes to that frickin' tournament and takes Oob away to go train, it's before that. So it's just before the very end of Z. During this particular few-year window, I think. And then that's when it branches off into Dragon Ball Super, which is canon.
Okay. You said something kind of funny about the whole reason that Dragon Ball Super existed, Jonathan. What is the reason
What do you mean?
I think you said something about Dragon Ball Evolution and like the reason Akira Toriyama made Dragon Ball
What?
Super.
I don't know what you're talking about. Dragon Ball Evolution was that really shitty live-action Dragon Ball movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, that doesn't
so
have. I
I
don't.
think what
That
made
has
this
nothing to do with Super. That has absolutely nothing to do with Super.
I thought you.
no, no, no. It's because I think I saw at least it was a meme on Facebook. It was like Akira Toriyama gave the rights away for Dragon Ball, the live action to be made, and then he saw what it was, and he's like, Jesus Christ.
One live action adaptation will ignore everything people loved about the Dragon Ball franchise in America's biggest insult to Japanese culture since Hiroshima. Dragon Ball Evolution.
Other people used my product, so then that's why he decided to keep on making Dragon Ball, which turned into Dragon Ball Super, because he kept the franchise going instead of allowing other people to make garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically Super. It's his own branch off thing, and they kind of show like parts of it because it was 2011, I think. Dragon Ball's. It was technically a Z movie. I want to say Dragon Ball Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F were technically Dragon Ball Z movies, not Super
No, those are
movies.
still Dragon Ball Super movies, I believe.
No, because they made Super. They made Super, but the name they were under was Z.
Get the fudge out of here.
So I got some understanding of Dragon Ball. Mostly, the most consistent stuff I watched. I watched some episodes of Dragon Ball Z as a kid, but Dragon
Saturday.
Ball, yeah, Saturday nights, Toonami,
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Tsunami for sure.
a little bit of that, but mostly watching Dragon Ball Z abridged, which is oh my god.
Hey, monkey! You forgot your pizza!
Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me.
That's not a pizza! That's not a pizza at all!
The tits. I love that. I love that series so much.
It's hilarious. It sums it up for you, basically.
Yeah, so I feel like I got some understanding. So when they started
You
doing
get the gist.
Yeah. So when I started watching this movie, I felt like I had definitely a leg up from like say a complete noob walking in, which I'm still a noob, but like
Well, fun fact: Dragon Ball Z Bridge or Team 4 Star is the people that make it. They did a not this Broly movie, but they did an abridged version of the original Broly movie.
Oh, and tell your creepy brat to stop following me!
What's your power level?
And stop asking that! No one cares anymore!
Mine's pretty big. Hello? What is your power level?
You know, pretty big though.
Mine too.
Cool.
yeah.
The original Broly movie takes place during the Cell Saga, if I recall correctly.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah,
They were likely in between because I want to say the second Broly movie wasn't Gohan. He fighting older Gohan.
no one's talking about the second. No one's talking
Okay.
about. No one's talking about Bio Broly. That one can eat a dick. All right, we don't even want to even mention that one. That one's.
So there's a lot of controversy on like which Broly we're even talking about here because I know the
Yes.
I know the
Well,
one that was in abridged.
All the Dragon Ball Z movies, none of them are canonical. They never actually happened in the universe.
Oh, okay.
That's why this new Broly movie, or I guess it's not new, it came out in 2018, but this one is canonical. Like it's actually introducing Broly into the Dragon Ball universe.
Okay.
Because all the old Dragon Ball Z movies never actually happened. Like,
No.
if you guys ever heard of Cooler from Cooler's Revenge,
Yeah.
he can't hurt you. Fun fact, just letting you know.
He can't hurt me.
Yeah, like I wish he could. He's like my favorite antagonist, and they have the best soundtrack in that Dragon Ball Z movie for the English dub, anyways. But that movie never happened in Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball anything. It was just a movie. But yeah,
Okay. Because I remember like watching him in like the DBZA, and I actually was wondering like when I was watching it as a kid, I always wondered like why he's called Frieza, But like, are they aware that that's like, like a term for like a freezer, like cooling, and then they come up
Yeah.
with names like King Cold and Cooler.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Oh yeah.
oh, they're
you talk
totally
about
aware.
that. Have you ever noticed the Saiyans' names?
So a
Like
buddy of mine.
Kakarot, Raditz, Vegeta, they're all goddamn vegetables, man.
Even in this movie that we're
I'm not
watching, we got Paragus,
I'm
which
not
is
talking about one
asparagus, and Broly, which I'm pretty sure is broccoli.
vegetables.
They're all
What you saying?
vegetables.
Yeah, all the Saiyans are vegetables. I mean, that is classic Akira Toriyama with the pun names on pretty much everything. Everything's always a pun on something when we
Although
talk about
I'm not
naming people.
positive of what Nappa is.
It's a type of Napa cabbage, I think.
Oh,
So we
because
got-
I know Vegeta. He's the prince of the Saiyans, so
Of the
Vegeta's
vegetables.
the prince of vegetable.
He's the
And then
veggie king.
because I know Akira Toriyama apparently loves fucking carrots. That's why Goku's the main Saiyan.
Well, Kakarot, yeah.
Yeah,
So we got
Yeah.
carrots, generic
Raditz,
vegetables,
obviously
cabbage,
Raditz.
radishes.
Although I don't know what Broly is,
Yeah, I think he's broccoli.
and then what's Broly's dad's name?
It's Paragus, which is off of asparagus.
Oh, okay, all right.
That is pretty fucking funny.
What about Bardock?
Bardock, I actually don't know.
Which fun fact you guys don't know? Bardock is Goku's dad's name, which he is in the movie for a little bit of a decent a quarter of the movie was actually background story for the Saiyans.
So
Okay,
I
I'm
guess-
reading that this is off of Game Rant. His name is a pun on burdock, which is a Japanese root vegetable, usually extensively in Japanese cooking. So it's some kind of root vegetable
Yeah,
native to Japan. Something called burdock.
Burdock.
I don't know.
That's pretty funny. So all vegetables. All Saiyans are vegetables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or ooh, this is not in the movie, but I think you might have mentioned his name earlier. Cabbage, obviously, given right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kaba, he's from the Dragon Ball Super show, so you won't see him in the movie, but yeah, Kaba's definitely cabbage.
Yeah. Now puns have always been a huge part of the thing.
Bulma, her whole line is like underwear, basically, right?
I want to have the world's most comfortable pair of ultra soft. Huh?
I think that little pervert just saved the world!
You serious?
Yeah. Well, Bulma
Well-
means bloomers, I think.
Yeah, and then Bulma and Vegeta, they have a kid. They literally name him Trunks, like
Oh
swimming.
My God. So
Yeah.
Are they
Yeah.
just clowning on us here? Are they just clowning on us?
Akira Toriyama, man, he was a man of humor and intellect.
Oh yeah, I would actually argue he was more of a comedian first than anything in his
Well,
writing.
If you ever watch old Dragon Ball, dude, it was all humor.
Oh yeah, even his older stuff, Doctor Slump, with a Raleigh, but basically be like a robot girl could just punch the ground and crack the world. Just like the most extreme stuff. But it's always been about the humor first. It's always been about the lol. And sometimes I almost feel like Dragon Ball was just a joke that went way too far. Like,
Dragon Ball was a joke. It was like a funny comic book or a manga, whatever you want to call it, and then it became something much greater that I feel like Akira Toriyama just doubled down on, and then he made it Dragon Ball Z.
yeah, I was gonna say the difference between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z is pretty immense in tone and seriousness.
And like their side missions or side quests, whatever you want to call it, like a lot of people call it
filler.
a lot of people call it filler when there's like no story progression, but in Dragon Ball,
especially if it's non-canon, like it's not even in the manga, and the anime people are just making shit up.
yeah, but I feel like in Dragon Ball though, it wasn't filler. It was just always an adventure.
Well, the whole point, the whole premise of Dragon Ball was the whole adventure thing, and I wasn't going to talk about it, but I guess I might as well bring up that this Dragon Ball itself has always been inspired by the Chinese novel Journey to the West,
Oh,
from the 16th century during the Ming Dynasty.
so
Yeah,
I heard about that.
concept as well because it wasn't like there was like a king monkey
The
guy in
monkey.
that.
Wikipedia describes it as an extended account on the legendary pilgrimage of the Tang Dynasty Buddhist monk Xuanzang, who traveled to the western regions, which is western regions to them is Central Asia and India, in
Mhm.
order to obtain Buddhist sutras, which are sacred texts, and returned after many trials and much suffering. So
Yeah,
it is just a story of adventure and trial.
I heard a lot of comparisons of Son Goku with Sun Wukong.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
also
no,
a lot-
exactly. And that's why he's got the tail, Even though later on they
also-
obviously retconned it for aliens, but it was originally that inspiration. Because
well,
Goku is a monkey boy.
so I was gonna say there's a lot of comparison too with after Dragon Ball Z that Goku is more like Superman,
Oh yeah,
You
Yeah.
it being a lot more powerful than the life beings that are already there.
yeah. All the beings
Yeah.
except for being stronger than every being except for Superman, of course. 'Cause-
Well, we don't need to divulge.
Yeah, let's not get into that because I definitely do not agree.
no,
Same here. Goku could blow up planets if he wanted to, but he's just
Dude,
not.
Goku could bust. Dude, I think he's pushing galaxy busting, maybe even farther.
Well, I'm gonna
Okay.
say, bro. So in this movie, actually no, I don't even want to mention it. Never mind. We'll save that for later. I was gonna say some shit about Broly and Goku's on par with that guy, and Broly gets pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
anywho, before we get going, I should address the elephant in the room, which is of course the passing of the source material, the writer Akira Toriyama, who died March 1st of 2024 at the age of
Yeah.
68.
So young. Honestly, I feel like 68 is pretty young for nowadays.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the average life expectancy in Japan's like 82.
I bet he took care of himself. Like me, I'll be happy if I live till 50, but like that guy, Akira, he took care of himself, and it just seems like a bummer that he died so young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got two different things on it too, so I don't. It's hard to say what exactly was everything. According to a statement from Bird Studio, which is his manga and design production, as well as Capsule Corporation Tokyo, they said that he died of an acute subdural hematoma, which
Hematoma.
is oh, see, I don't even know what this is. I'm just reading.
This is
I
Um,
watched Grey's Anatomy one time, so that's how I learned that word.
I'm more qualified than me, I guess.
that's like a bleed in the brain
Yeah,
area.
yeah. A condition in which blood collects between the skull and the brain.
Mhm.
But also Geekdom 101, who's like pretty freaking reliable and has a lot of really close sources. He cited that Toriyama was actually later confirmed to have been previously diagnosed with a brain tumor.
Oh wow.
Well, that can
Yeah,
go
but
hand, especially like with if you have a brain tumor and a subdural hematoma, whatever the fuck the word is,
Subdural.
you're not getting any proper blood flow to your brain. So yeah, you're just fucked.
it's hard to say what exactly went down, but despite how massively renowned he is, like worldwide, Akira Toriyama is always been an extremely private person. Like him ever doing interviews is like beyond rare.
Well, you'd think they would have like had him insured, or like properly. I don't want to use the word medicated, but like covered.
Like taken care of.
Because I know
Well, I
like,
mean, you get a brain tumor, where
well,
medicine is
I know
still pretty
like,
behind in that regard.
well, I know like movie actors when they're like doing movies or whatever, like the studio will insure them and they'll have them do like physicals and stuff to make sure that they're up to snuff and everything's healthy and whatnot. And
I doubt they were doing like that kind of screening for
I just
Akira
feel like
Toriyama.
Toriyama's death was like just out of nowhere, like he didn't even know he had a tumor or that kind of shit.
Well, I think he knew he had it too. Like I said, this is so hard to say, but the point is that it is rough, and it's going to be crazy to see where Dragon Ball goes forward from here. But I'll cover that when we get towards the end of the video.
Okay.
for Dragon Ball because we saw what happened when he's not in.
Yeah, well, that's just it. Because the Dragon Ball, as much as I love it, it is gone. But with him there, it's still been like really corporate. And now, I mean, I'm worried they're gonna go fucking ham.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. But this is the fourth Broly movie. It is the first time it's canon, so it actually counts this time.
So it's
And
technically the first Broly movie.
yes, it's the first canon Broly movie, and I am relieved that Bio Broly never made it.
God
At least
forbid.
not yet. We'll see. We'll see what happens. What they do now that Toriyama's not guarding the.
Dude,
You know.
honestly, I'm hoping that they're gonna bring in Cooler eventually. Like they made Broly canon. They might make Cooler canon. That'd be so cool.
I'm swole as shit, not to mention my sexy shade of amethyst purple. Oh my god, he's perfect!
That
No,
would
Right?
be-
No, that would be
That
sick.
would be cool.
It would be cooler if they did, for sure.
That joke is overused and you should be ashamed. I'm sorry. I have disappointed you, Senpai. You are forgiven.
I love Cooler so much, but I think the main reason I love Cooler is because seriously, the soundtrack in the old Dragon Ball Z movies were the tits.
Yeah, yeah. No, especially the American soundtracks. They were another level
And yeah,
at the time.
it was hardcore rock. It was freaking great. They did a great job. If any of you
Yeah.
assholes listening want to go pirate Dragon Ball Z, I don't condone it, but if you do, watch the dub.
Yeah.
And the cooler thing, I mean, he's always been a huge fan favorite, and it's like, I mean, Hitler. I was gonna say, Frieza, he's like, he's
Same
space
person.
Hitler, not Darth Vader, but the other one. And but this is comparatively like if Hitler had an older brother, right? This is like the even bigger, badder fucking version of an already, infamous tyrant.
So I wanted to say, to get this rolling here, what would you guys say is like the way that you guys should watch this movie?
I would say, so if you have friends, I'd want to get done playing a fighting video game like Mortal Kombat or Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z or like a fighting game. Just get done fucking wrecking shit on that, and then go watch the movie. And then get through all the intro and the shenanigans, and then get to the big fight scenes, and then you'll have a stiffy.
Okay, so you got some homework to do to get into this movie to really enjoy it.
Well, I'm just saying, like if you really want to enjoy the movie, I feel like it helps when you just get them whooping ass, and you watch the movie, and then you watch them whoop ass. It feels awesome.
Yeah.
The movie is designed so anyone can just sit down and kind of get thrown into it while still knowing enough of the stuff that's going on. But of course, when such a long stringy anime, it's
They do mention,
there's always something more to kind of enjoy.
Jonathan, they do mention the Tournament of
With
Power.
the Tournament of Power?
Yeah, because they're talking about Universe 7 and that stuff. So they sort of do. If you're curious about it, you don't need to watch the show, but they do give you some information that you're not familiar with if you've never seen it.
So what I wrote down is that you should watch this movie alone and with the conscious knowledge that you are ashamed because you like anime.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
I know.
My wife would totally. She hates all anime.
Yeah, I like anime. I generally don't watch it with other people though.
She thinks Japanese people are hot, but she hates their cartoons. Makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
I like anime. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, obviously. I'm not crazy big outside of it, especially compared to a lot of people out there. But, I've always been a fan here and there. It just depends on the story and what it's got, I can't say anime and that's like saying, do you like cartoons? It's like, well, which ones, right?
Also, Jonathan, this anime too, it's not basic like the other ones. Like, I don't know how many animes you guys have tried to watch. I've tried to watch a few, and I feel like most animes they try to sell some kind of harem bullshit,
icky.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a softcore porn that you're just it's kind of edging yourself with.
Or the female characters, or at least a good handful of them, are like just big-breasted dumb bitches.
Yeah.
They
And
don't.
I feel like Dragon Ball Z is really good at just keeping it to what really matters is just the fighting.
Yeah, that's
it'll
what we're here for. We're here for some epic fucking fights, especially
Well,
Z and beyond,
yeah,
you know, and
the last character I can remember that had like big tits and was dumb was probably in Dragon Ball. You know, and that was I'm
right.
referring to Launch.
They had like one kind of like weird thing in Super, but it is they do refrain from it quite well, especially comparatively in the genre itself,
Yeah,
especially nowadays.
Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. It's great about not over sexualizing anything, and I appreciate that.
That
Right.
is
Some
nice.
parts of original Dragon Ball were a little sus, but
So you're a girl, aren't you?
Huh? What a randy boy.
Are you crazy? Please stop doing that!
Yeah, well, yeah, like I try to say, Launch, Launch
yeah.
was, or
Well,
Toma.
dude, even before, dude, Oolong, when you first see Oolong, like episode 2 or 3, freaking, he's and kidnaps like 4 like little girls.
Ooh, gross.
Like, and has them live in his. Yeah. There's some things in original Dragon Ball that are sus as fuck. That were risque even at the time, but.
Oolong's defense, he's a pig. He was probably younger than those little girls.
Yeah, technically. That's how. Yeah. I mean, yes. He was pretty young. I can't remember how old he was, but he was pretty young.
8-year-old golden retriever. He's technically an adult, but he gets around.
Right. But I will agree that Dragon Ball, especially from Z and beyond, is tame, especially compared to its root, like where it came from and where anime is now.
Dude, I want to just say this out loud right now. I hate fan service. I learned that term from my brother. My brother's the one that showed me Dragon Ball, all anime, and I think he likes fan service to a degree, but I fucking hate fan service.
By definition, a lot of fans like to be serviced. You know what I mean? I mean, there are tasteful fan service out there, and then there is just gimmicky.
No, fan service is basically the term used for when you get to see like say you're watching an anime and they have like a beach day.
Yep, everyone knows the Beach Day episode. That way you can see James from Pokemon in a bra.
I hate fan service so much. It kills me.
Yeah.
But Dragon Ball...
It definitely takes away. It takes away from whatever your story you're trying to tell.
Yeah, but Dragon Ball never does that, or at the very least, it's very minuscule to where I can't remember. Yeah, Dragon Ball does a great job of not being pricks like that. Like, the worst fan service they have is they show you how to cook some really nice looking food.
Right.
That's the real.
And that's specifically Dragon Ball Super, because Beerus has a big hard on for food in that one.
Same with Whis, too.
Did you really think I wouldn't notice? That was my strawberry you so casually devoured.
That's a lie and you know it!
Yeah, well, his opinion doesn't matter.
That is a he?
Yes, Whis.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Whis is a he.
Okay, I was watching that. I was not
I know.
sure.
Yeah, no, then the voice definitely is up there, you know.
Yeah.
That's where you gotta watch the dub.
And they are technically angels, so I mean they could maybe be gender neutral if this is like Dogma, where they don't have genitals.
I'm as anatomically impaired as a kendo.
But I don't fucking know.
No, I'll give that one to you, Mazda. They could be genderless. Unless
I don't know, but I mean, obviously, when we see the universe is the opposites, and we see Whis and his counterpart, which is apparently like pretty obviously female, I think. At least she's got some features like that.
Though, like we'll give them that much. Like that's just how they are. Like unless they actually ever use a pronoun for them, we don't know.
Through that, because he even describes himself as "I am the being simply known as Whis" or something like that.
Yeah,
he refers to himself as a being, not a gender.
Although Whis is a badass, we all know that, or at least if you watch the show, Whis is stronger than the God of Destruction.
That's enough.
By a mile, dude.
That's the cat guy.
In fact,
right?
Whis is pretty much the strongest person in his universe.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the God of Destruction is the cat guy. That's Lord Beerus. So there's gods of destruction, and they're tied with the gods of creation, the Kaioshin, the Supreme Kai, and also if either one of them die, the other one dies. But I don't know why I'm talking about that. But the god of destructions get an angel attendant, pretty much someone to keep them in check and make sure they don't destroy too much, or because they're just so chaotic. And the angels do have like, what is it? I can't remember how long the time period is. Is it 2 minutes? A 2-minute do-over or something. I think they get like a 2-minute do-over, so the angels can technically, if like remember when Beerus just ate that wasabi in the movie and destroyed all the planets or the satellites surrounding his home.
Jonathan, you're talking about the wrong movie.
No, I know that, but I'm showing you an example of Whis. I'm just saying Whis turned back time and saved that, and then they also do that in Resurrection of F. I'm just saying.
Although it kills me that Whis is so willy-nilly with this power that he has because he only ever uses it for food.
Classic Toriyama, dude.
Like, he only saved Earth because they had Bang and ice cream.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's been saving the Earth is the food.
It wasn't Goku, it was ice cream.
Well, and think of space and the universe and aliens and just whatever, I mean, there's almost nothing in the universe. And what there is likely fucking disgusting. Like when we see Broly in this movie eating bugs, like that's probably the only food source for who knows how many light years,
You always want me to, I could give the synopsis on this movie real quick.
Oh, let me quickly just go through the production and the cast. So obviously it's written by Akira Toriyama. It's directed by Tatsuya Nagamine, who is the same guy who directed the One Piece show and the One Piece movie Z.
Oh, wow.
Which I haven't really seen either of those, unfortunately, but I know that's huge.
Someone's got their hands full working on One Piece.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, and even when they were making Super, there was times when they couldn't animate Super because those same companies and people were also doing One Piece. Yeah.
I saw like a meme, and it was like they couldn't animate Dragon Ball Super because they were busy giving Monkey D. Luffy, the main character of One Piece, Ultra Instinct. Where he had like white hair and he's all powerful or some bullshit too. It was just hilarious.
How it goes.
Like,
I don't know why that. Of course, my brain goes to Ultra Instinct Shaggy.
He's a shaggy scoopquake and the whole city shaking.
Like Zoink.
Anywho, it's voiced by the usual cast, the Japanese version, of course, Masako Nozawa, who's been the voice actress for Goku from the start, all the way back in original Dragon Ball, all those years ago. And that's because, especially back then, a lot of times women in Japan would voice male and female children. And she just never stopped voicing him. She just,
Yeah, but so too, not just Japan. Like like Bart Simpson, that's voiced by a female.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, for sure. I'm not saying there's like it's exclusionary. I'm just saying, from my understanding, it was commonplace.
Yeah,
it's more.
Bart Simpson. Oh shit, I had like
Yeah, but Bart Simpson never grew up into an adult though. That's what I mean to say is that you usually voice the kids, but then when they grow up, usually, especially if it's a male character, if you want that deep, almost samurai gut voice or whatever, you usually need to hire a male voice actor. Usually,
that's part of the reason why I don't enjoy anime like Japanese, like the actual straight up animes, because all the dudes sound like chicks.
They definitely can, especially when things get really intense. And there's almost just extremities. They're either really high pitched or they're that really deep, thing.
You know that new show Shogun that's on Hulu?
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah, I do.
So it's got a man's fucking voice there for the Japanese people. That's what I want to hear for a man's voice.
Yeah.
Like I don't know any Japanese, but I can make up some words like
I'm not Bobby Mata. I'm Bobby Mom.
Yeah, I want to say something like that. What the fuck? Oh, some shit.
Well, a lot of it's really high highs and just low lows.
Well,
it's just such extremities.
It just kills me when the men have high voices and it sounds so impermanent. It just kills me, and I feel like it hurts the culture too. because it makes Japan sort of seem like a bunch of pussies.
Only
Well,
if you
I mean,
bring their worth
Vegeta.
of that
These
manliness
dudes
based on octave, you know.
I hate the idea like thinking of them as pussies because I know these guys are literally fucking split their stomachs open and have someone chop their heads off if they made a mistake.
Well, I will say Vegeta does sound pretty fucking masculine.
Yeah.
Japanese Beerus, dude. Fucking is powerful.
Vegeta and Beerus they both have proper voice, but I feel like a lot of the other guys, God, I just want to like, I just want to like meet them in a bar and whoop their ass.
Well, that's what I'm trying to explain to you about Japanese Goku, is that it is the same female voice actress, Masako Nozawa. Her name is actually if you guys know TFS, the guy that voices Goku in TFS, that he goes by Masako X, which is a direct reference to Goku's voice actress.
It's a cute little wink.
The other thing I want to say about the cast is that notably in this movie, in the Japanese version, of course, and excuse me for my pronunciations on these things, but notably Hiromi Suru, which was the original voice actress for Bulma, she died in 2017.
No shit.
Yeah, and so there was a relatively new voice actress for Bulma. Her name is Aya Hisakawa. And she had only done the last 3 episodes of Dragon Ball Super. So, like 131, 130, and 129.
What's the word on the girl? Do you know? Or
what's the word on what?
The dub Bulma.
I haven't heard anything about the Bulma actress dying or anything changing like that in the English.
Yeah, I'm just curious if we still got the same Bulma that we know from Dragon Ball Z or not.
I believe so. I assume so, I should say.
I tell you what, I definitely haven't noticed a difference. Although
the production.
It does piss me off. I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, but in the movie, Bulma is collecting the Dragon Balls a fucking wish so she looks 5 years younger, and it bugs the hell out of me. That's what she's using the Dragon Balls for.
I was gonna make myself look younger, okay? Just by like 5 years.
You were gonna summon Shenron just because you look so old?
And that's the running joke. A lot of people are guilty of that. I mean, Frieza himself.
What I want is to increase my height by 5 full centimeters.
Goddamn petty. Like, it's so minuscule. It's
dude, well, this goes all the way back to original Dragon Ball. Original Dragon Ball, Bulma literally was collecting the Dragon Ball so she could wish for a boyfriend.
I know, but that's wishing for a whole actual person, a slave almost. Alright, this
yeah.
off your fucking old ass
I'm just saying, Bulma's always used the Dragon Balls with petty intent.
I know, but it just kills me because Bulma literally, like, she's in charge of the Capsule Corporation.
Yeah, and still there's no better plastic surgery than Shenron's magic.
She can build a house by throwing a capsule just at the ground.
No one can stop the age of time except for Shenron.
Like I just said, she can literally make a house by throwing a capsule. She can totally fight the age of time with her technology.
Well, it also depends on where technology goes. Like, for example, in Star Wars, we'll see things that are like crazy advanced, and we'll also see some tech that's almost lowerly advanced than even ours by comparison. It just depends on where in the tech sector things have decided to grow and develop.
Well, we also know that they make cyborgs too, living organisms, basically.
Oh, I get it. It doesn't have to all make sense, but I'm just saying, magic is like something else.
It just kills me that she gathers the 7 Dragon Balls to get 5 years. It kills me. Because she could like wish for so much better things, like fucking world peace, some other bull.
Oh, that's the joke, dude. Remember Oolong like trying to debunk a wish and wish for panties? You know, I mean, this is not the only time the Dragon Balls have been abused. In fact, that's arguably why the whole Dragon Ball GT's premise was that like the Dragon Balls were used so much that their power got sucked and they became the Black Dragon Balls. And I don't want to get back into GT, but
Oolong doesn't count. You stupid. Bulma's a brilliant scientist, engineer.
He's probably the smartest person on planet Earth. She invented time travel, for fuck's sake. No, you know what? That's just it, though. She invented time travel. But it's a different thing. It's actually branching different timelines. It's not actually like de-aging you, per se. Real quick, so the production. I'm just going to name people's names. The English version is produced by Justin Cook and Michael Harcourt. And the Japanese version is produced by Norihiro Hayashida and Ryuku Tominada. And it's composed by Norihito Sumitomo. And the cinematographer was Yosuke Motoki. And it was edited by Mashiro Goto. I apologize for all of those pronunciations. So, Matt, you want to give us an overview of our wonderful tale here?
Absolutely. I can.
Well, fast. It's pronounced pronunciations, not pronunciation.
Oh, God. I can't even enunciate the pronunciations or whatever.
There's no winning
even...
here.
No. Yeah, see, this is just it. I'm gonna just fucking
throw the towel in there.
I'm just gonna pull Goku and Vegeta and just fucking bail out of this.
There's no way I could move fast enough to grab him, get out, and...
Right? Or a Yamcha and just stay down.
I can try and... I'll give the best explanation for what I saw in this movie, and I'm someone who's come in with a little bit of knowledge of Dragon Ball Z. So it all starts off, and actually I really do commend this being a movie, and they tried to give us the best background they can on the rest of the series, but they go through and they explain the background behind the Saiyans and their relationship with Frieza.
Hello, monkeys.
About how these Saiyans, they're all kind of pieces of shit. They're all kind of monsters. They're just like, we just go around, we get planets, subjugate them, and sell them to the highest bidder as a bunch of slave planets. And they work for Frieza, who's like even worse than that, and just like indiscriminately kills people. Frieza just gets command over the Saiyan planet of Vegeta with King Vegeta, his son Prince Vegeta.
Pretty basic.
Yeah. So anyway, they're explaining the background behind Broly, who is seen to be potentially even more powerful than Prince Vegeta, the son of King Vegeta on the planet Vegeta.
He would be of great use to Vegeta. My son, the planet or me? Yes!
And
Vegeta.
Yeah, a lot of Vegeta.
They even mentioned it in that movie that like our Prince Vegeta is Vegeta the 4th. So there's actually two, like after his dad, there's still two more Vegetas above that.
Yes, that makes sense.
Well, but also in that movie, they reference to the legendary Super Saiyan as well.
They reference the legendary Super Saiyan.
A wives' tale, just superstition.
Which, I mean, anyone who kind of has an idea of Dragon Ball, like, they know that at least Goku becomes a Super Saiyan. But this is all, like, a legend to them. And King Vegeta is just like, alright, I can't have Broly being all strong and cool and shit and overshadowing my son.
Grand Vizier Nappa, I require your treasured guidance once more.
Stab the baby.
Sends him off to another planet.
Oh, good. Now it's crying. To hell with this. Just dump him in a hole with his father.
Where his father, Paragus, goes off and goes to raise him on that desolate planet by himself.
Wampa.
Yeah. All the while, they kind of show a little bit of Bardock, Goku's father, suddenly having some level of parental instincts and deciding to send off, what they kind of said, like, is not really, like, super common in the Saiyan culture. So
I love how you word that because, Saiyans don't give a shit about their kids.
Yeah.
Oh, not at all. They send him on babies to go conquer a planet, kill people, and if they die, well, they weren't very good warriors then, were they?
Yeah.
They send them to the planet and they hope they turn into a monkey and just kill everybody.
It feels very, very similar. Like, I know a lot of people make the comparisons between the Viltrumites and the Kryptonians, like Superman and stuff. But really, the Viltrumites are a lot more like Saiyans. Like, it seems like to me.
Oh, I totally see that. Yeah, because the Viltrumites, they just want to take over worlds, too.
Yeah.
Well, with the Kryptonians, at least in the latest Superman movies, they didn't care about exploration and domination. They just...
Yeah, they were just an advanced society of powerful people. Well, regular people on their planet, but...
Yeah.
So the Saiyans, Bardock in particular, sends off his son to Earth, and then they do this nice little montage showing how time has progressed, and then it ends up with Prince Vegeta and Goku fighting each other, but they're training, showing that they're friends, showing that they have an amiable relationship with each other.
Even though Vegeta was literally working for Frieza, taking over worlds and committing mass genocide.
Yeah, and they had that little cameo of young Vegeta with young Raditz, who proceeds to be nothing of note for the entire series, right? Like Raditz.
Yeah, Piccolo killed Raditz. He's worthless.
Charging my attack.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, by that standard, Piccolo killed Raditz and Goku. Are they both worthless?
Well, Goku's still alive. So
Well, he got wished back to life. Raditz just didn't get wished back to life is all that fucking happened.
Now let's hurry up and wish back Piccolo, Shinhan, and Chaozu.
What about Yamcha?
What about Yamcha? I don't know what this Yamcha is, but it sounds just like Raditz.
Nobody cares enough about Raditz to wish him back.
I think he's dead, Vegeta. Big shocker, nobody cares.
No, that is definitely agreed.
Honestly, I would wish Raditz back because he has Super Saiyan 3 hair without even being Super Saiyan.
Right?
I thought he had kind of the Shadow the Hedgehog hair.
Right.
You know what Super Saiyan 3 Goku looks like?
He's got extra long hair, I'm assuming.
Yep. And no eyebrows.
Raditz if he was blonde. So Raditz is already Super Saiyan 3. He's just not yellow.
Oh,
Right.
So Goku, he grows up, he's now training with Vegeta, and they've been training, and they're hanging out with these guys, the Destroyer God Beerus and the Angel Whis. Now, at this point, you know, it's nice about the way they reintroduce things is they bring up that Goku and Vegeta, like, they brought back Frieza, who was like a long-standing enemy in Dragon Ball Z.
Yep. Dragon Ball Z should have ended.
Yeah, and they
actually brought him back twice.
twice.
But the second time was kind of Goku's fault.
So they brought him back, and I love the way that the banter was done in a way that progressed the narrative without over-explaining everything. Like, the way that Vegeta just calls him a dumbass for bringing him back, and obviously Vegeta has a big problem with Frieza, because Frieza destroyed his home planet that he was going to be king of.
I think Vegeta's main issue with Frieza is because Frieza beat the shit out of him on Namek.
Shut up!
Oh my god, you actually are crying.
I'm not crying! Not!
Well, and also, Frieza is the one that dishonored his father. He's also the one that led to a lot of his own regret. Because Vegeta in Super, by the time we get to Super, has like a huge... Well, I was just going to say that Vegeta has like a huge regret and remorse for all the damage. Now that Vegeta's actually officially a good guy, he actually does have legitimate remorse for killing and terrorizing the Namekians.
Where was that, Jonathan? I don't believe you on that one.
Believe me on what?
Vegeta having remorse?
It's in the moral arc of the manga.
Fuck, the manga does not count.
The manga don't fucking count. That's what's canon.
Manga aside, Vegeta being one of my most liked characters, one of my favorite characters in this series, he definitely has stakes in Frieza not coming back, but they have like that whole little argument about it, which explains a lot of what happened before. They don't really go into super depth, which they don't have to because it's not relevant to the main conflict, but they don't go into super depth about why they brought Frieza back, because there's that tournament of champions or something. Tournament of what?
Power.
Between all the universes fighting each other to see which one is allowed to stay alive.
Okay. I kind of got that from this.
Because Zeno was going to destroy all the universes except for one of them.
Oh.
Which, that's a giant fucking issue right there.
I would say.
Well, and all of it only happened because Goku wanted to start all that shit with Champa's universe. Or actually really start with Champa and Beerus, I guess, huh?
Yeah, Goku's a stupid monkey.
And Goku just kept pushing it farther than that. Every universe on the line just to fight stronger guys.
So they're at this point right now, after this tournament of power, and they brought Frieza back. Frieza's still hanging out, just doing his mischievous shit, wanting to get the Dragon Balls.
It should be also noted that Frieza, Goku, and Android 17 are who really even won the Tournament of Power. So they kind of owe Frieza, and that was his agreement, pretty much, was that Frieza saved their universe in a way, and then Whis actually brought him back to life.
Considering how you've helped, maybe I should give you your happy ending too. Consider it a little gift from Lord Beerus.
Okay, so I did not get that from the movie.
No, they did not at all. That's why I'm kind of explaining it right now.
But that's okay, because like it wasn't super important. I mean, I guess like knowing that Frieza was a key character, I did get.
We all recognize that Frieza's alive in the movie.
Yeah, Frieza's alive.
Right. Well, I was just trying to explain why, especially at the end, why they don't just kill him. It's because they have kind of this I owe you honorable thing about, they had an agreement that you fight in the Tournament of Power and we survive, you get to live. Like, you get to come back. You don't get to live in hell.
That and also, Frieza is too powerful for them to kill themselves.
Yes and no. I mean, I'd say no, because Resurrection of F, right?
To beat him, and at the same time, they still didn't actually beat him.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of issues. In Resurrection of F, you hadn't even really gotten used to that form.
So we kicked your butt, but yeah, we'll just call it good. Stop killing everybody around here. You can go conquer other galaxies and planets, but just just don't fuck up this place.
If you make it our problem, you're gonna, deals off.
Although that's still not a good thing to do, because if you think about it, like Goku literally is letting this tyrant free in the universe to go.
Well, that's why I brought up the whole Vegeta having regrets about his past working under Frieza, and all that kind of stuff.
It just bugs the hell out of me. It reminds me of like times like where like Goku's allowed like bad guys to live, and they just keep on being terrible people. Like, dude, you're just allowing them to kill more people. You're not being a good person.
I guess it kind of shows that Goku's not really like a super heroic. Like, he does heroic shit, but like he's not like super interested in the right and wrong and being good. He just wants to be a really powerful fighter.
Well, the whole thing about Goku is that he's supposed to be innocent and childlike. It's not about right or wrong. It's just about the fight.
He's being really
I don't know. It is difficult to say. As far as the Tournament of Power and stuff, all that goes, it's kind of like, yeah, Frieza's killing a lot of people, but our whole universe is still alive because of him, partly.
So in terms of the Tournament of Power, yes, Frieza was worth bringing back to life so he could help keep the universe alive. But afterwards, though, they should have buried his ass. They should have just put him back.
Well, he was still dead in the Tournament of Power, I'm pretty sure. He had a halo over his head the whole time, didn't he?
No, I mean afterwards. After he was brought back to life, they should have killed him.
Oh, that would have been cheap, too, That would have been a Frieza thing to do. The morals aren't totally lining up, that's for sure. So that's why I'm saying it's like, I'd rather some of our universe die under Frieza and our universe live than, not at all. But to your point, they should morally, or at least as far as protecting the universe goes, or the galaxy, they should probably bury Frieza.
So
they win the Tournament of Power. Everybody gets to live. And then boom, bam, Frieza is wished back to life. And then they kill him. Simple. Especially Vegeta. I don't know why Vegeta didn't do that. Because for a fact Vegeta.
Right, Vegeta didn't. Technically, I don't think Vegeta agreed to shit. That was Goku and Frieza's and Whis' deal.
Even if Vegeta agreed to it, it's Vegeta. He should have killed him.
True that.
Like, I'm sure Vegeta was a dirtbag that fucking worked for Frieza, but at the same time, though, he knows Frieza and he should have just whooped his ass.
Oh, look at you, Vegeta. You're really going to fight me. Well, not really fight, more like flailing angrily.
So, moral gray area of the story aside, Frieza is still around, and he does come across... he's been searching for the Dragon Balls, as well as Bulma, a main character of the show. Which, ironically enough, I think is really funny how both of their reasons are both, like, so petty. Like, to get Dragon Balls. Like, he just wants to be 5 centimeters taller.
I want to look like I'm still growing. That this is natural.
Well, I think the similarity in that one. He wants to be 5 centimeters taller, and I think, did Bulma want to be 5 years younger or just 1 year younger?
5 years younger.
Yeah, they're both going by 5s, and I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. And I was very surprised by, like, I was legitimately trying to wonder what the hell Frieza wanted. If he didn't want immortality, what the hell did he want? Try and get more power from it. And it was just to be 5 centimeters taller.
I'll tell you what,
at that point, Let the short king have it, dude. Let him have it.
The 5 centimeter thing, the scene, especially the way he sticks out his hand, it's pretty much an exact homage to when Frieza said there's 5 minutes until the planet Namek blows up.
In 5 short minutes, the planet Namek will explode!
So that's just another thing with the whole 5 thing.
5 minutes left. 5 centimeters taller. 5 years younger. So they're all in this little, and actually it seems pretty friendly game until good old Broly shows up with Paragus. And Broly and Paragus being exiled from the Saiyan planet, they don't have really any beef with Frieza, even though they should, because Frieza lies to him, says a meteor destroyed their planet, and it was the negligence of King Vegeta.
Paragus didn't give a shit anyways.
Yeah, Paragus didn't give a shit anyway. He doesn't like Prince Vegeta, and lets Broly start laying Pound Town. There's this B plot where these 2 workers of Frieza's are kind of getting a relationship with Broly, and they're kind of like wanting to look out for him despite knowing him for like a day or whatever. But Broly starts to fight Goku and Vegeta and is just wiping the floor with them. I mean, they're putting up their own, but Broly doesn't have access to Super Saiyan form, which is something that was addressed in the story, and I think that was really cool. But he does have access to the ape, the great ape form, which is like, he's not really like becoming a great ape. He's like accessing its power, and it's really cool way of making him really powerful and on par with these guys at these such extreme power levels.
Plus, he doesn't have the tail. It was cut off by Paragus.
Yeah, it was cut off by Paragus. He doesn't have his tail, so he can't really access it, but he's still able to draw power from it.
Real quick, you know why they stopped doing the tails?
Why?
Especially like even in original Dragon Ball, they had Goku lose his tail for a while, and it grew back, and they had to lose again permanently. It was because Akira Toriyama got tired of, he didn't know how to draw the tail a lot of the times, like the angles of the tail in his manga, and it was like always just a problem for him constantly, and he's finally like, fuck this monkey tail. Originally that's how it started anyways.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Anyhow.
So Broly, big boy Broly, all grown up, laying into Vegeta and Goku, giving a real tight run for their money. Eventually, they end up leaving him off to fight Frieza.
Well, you forgot to. They go Super Saiyan God. Broly's not even Super Saiyan yet, and fucking they're struggling with him.
Yeah, with base God form.
Goku, can we beat this guy?
I don't know. I'm sure I'll pull something out my butt.
And it will be Broly's fist!
They're red hair and everything, and he's still fucking beating the shit out of them.
Never turned Super Saiyan before this.
So they end up kind of leaving him off to go fight Frieza. So while they go figure out how to do the fusion dance, and they fuse with their powers together, they're able to fight Broly. And
God, how many times did they fuck up the fusion? Because I remember they had to like wait 30 minutes every time.
Twice. And all the while,
yeah, they fucked it up twice and got it right the third time.
And it is really funny the way that Frieza's just getting fucked up, like while they're fucking around with this.
Getting an hour, a whole goddamn hour while they're trying to remember how to go fusion.
Yeah.
Absolute torture, and and fucking hell yeah, we all wanted that. We want a scared bitch Frieza getting absolutely beat into a fucking pulp. I keep referring to him as Hitler, but it's kind of like when they killed Hitler in fucking Inglourious Bastards. It felt so fucking good, dude.
It is so satisfying seeing him getting beat down. It's the hardcore pounding. And they eventually team up, and as they're fighting each other, they're fighting Broly now in their stronger form. I do believe they get the upper hand at some point. It's still pretty evenly matched. I mean, Broly does end up tapping into his Super Saiyan form. But
Legendary Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan.
Green. And that's how you know it's legendary, I think, right?
There's some conflictions with it, but that's generally what most people seem to think. because there's argument over like legendary Super Saiyan. There's argument that Goku is the legendary Super Saiyan. There's different things with it, but I generally, at least as far as my head canon goes, I consider that all that legendary Super Saiyan.
So they fight, and eventually they're about to cap your boy Broly, but the people in the V plot that were becoming friends with Broly, they end up getting all the Dragon Balls and wishing him away and to safety, so that way he doesn't get murked by Gogeta.
Dude, like down to the last nanosecond, man.
Down to the last nanosecond.
Boy was about to get obliterated, like, and it was just terrifying, honestly.
It was pretty basic. Fucking
what? How so?
How so? Like fucking Broly's about his ass whooped, and then fucking he just gets wished away. Like I was pretty.
I sorry. I thought you were talking about. I was talking about the Gogeta doing a super Kamehameha. Like that whole scene, his face gets all fucked up, distorted. You can see a little more Vegeta in his eyes than Goku, and he's about to fucking send this motherfucker straight to hell.
Yeah, no, I thought about where he got wished away. Like, I get it. Obviously, they're gonna save him for the future. You know,
right? Dude, merchandising fucking.
Yeah, you gotta merchandise.
They're saving Broly for some more shenanigans, obviously. It can bug the hell out of me. Like, man. It just kills me when like shit happens in movies. Like, dude, just finish it. Just finish it.
Right. It does feel a little lackluster and maybe even pointless.
Yeah, but
yeah, especially I've made this point to you before, Jonathan. That like remember the Tournament of Power? Nothing happened at the end.
Oh God, don't even get me started. Fucking the Tournament of Power fucking pisses me off, dude.
Well, we'll save that for another conversation, but you know what I'm talking about.
God damn. So, yeah, I do. Well, and that's why I would tell you that I like the Goku Black arc. I know you didn't like as much, but there were at least some slight consequences. More so than the Tournament of Power or this Broly movie, certainly.
The Goku Black arc definitely had consequences. It just wasn't any consequences that mattered, though.
That is also fair, and that's another kind of wiggle loophole of doing that. And still kind of pulling the same thing that you're talking about right now.
No deaths ever actually matter in Dragon Ball, and that's the one thing that has always bothered me.
Well, that's always been the thing because of the Dragon Balls, and then, everything else.
Well, death certainly mattered to Raditz, because never saw his ass again.
And Nappa.
You were saying?
It mattered to him because no one cared about him.
So, this ends with Broly and his new friends that wished him away on his old planet, and they're kind of marooned there, but Goku shows up, says, "Hey, I want to train with you guys. You're actually a pretty cool guy. I want to train with you," and then proceeds to leave them marooned on that planet. But
he did give them capsules so they could survive.
He gave them a house on this shitty...
And food.
On this shitty, hostile, horrible planet.
I wouldn't appreciate a house any more than if I was on a hostile planet with no houses and someone just gave me a house, probably stocked with food and who knows what. I can't remember how much supply was there, but...
It would be pretty tight to not be on that planet anymore. I would say.
Well, they gotta hide from Frieza, and they gotta hide from everyone else, even though Frieza knows they're there, though. And that's just it. Goku just appearing. They didn't even know about sensing people's ki, their chi, their power. Yeah, so they were trying to keep low key, and it's like, oh, I guess we're not really low key, are we?
Well, I love too, like Goku, how he describes it too, is like wherever you go, as long as you're not too far away, and I can sense your power, I can find you.
In my head, every time I'm always like, that is a threat.
So
it sounds sort of creepy. It's like wherever you go, I'll find you. Goku doesn't mean it's a threat, but it definitely be viewed as one.
But you guys having like the knowledge now and keeping up on Super and stuff like that. This was in 2018. I mean, I imagine like Broly had some kind of like key role to play like later on in the series, right?
There's 2 arcs of manga, the Moro arc and the Granola arc. I actually haven't gone through the Granola arc, and I haven't finished Moro just quite yet. So I can't say certainly whether or not Broly has a further part in it right now.
Because Broly was pretty tight, but he hasn't really had much of an active role in the story. after this movie.
I don't know about him coming back yet.
So with Dragon Ball Super, the anime ended, like the actual show ended, and then they made the movie.
Yeah, they did 131 episodes, and then they did the movie, this movie, and then they did like 2 more arcs in the manga, and then they did another movie that me and Kevin saw together. Dragon Ball Super Heroes. It was okay. It was. I don't regret watching it, but it wasn't really memorable.
It bugs the hell out of me when they can make androids so powerful, but it's stupid.
Yeah, a bit buffed up Cell.
Is this a bad time? I can't explain. Oh, you mother...
I mean, it was nice to see Piccolo get fucking boosted for sure. Gohan's beast form, I wish it was explained better, but that was kind of cool, but a little over the top, even in Dragon Ball terms.
Well, no.
But just bringing back Cell, I thought was kind of dumb.
Gohan's beast mode sort of made sense. Like it was that inner rage that he's always had. You know, like the big thing that Piccolo.
It was like the Gohan we were supposed to have if he actually continued his training after the Cell saga.
Yeah,
you know, and maybe even after the Buu saga. Either way, I feel like all that applies.
Especially particularly Cell, because yes, I remember Gohan was supposed to be the one that took over after Goku.
Yeah, and even in the Buu saga, Goku was still trying to make it so that was the case, that Gohan, or that the living people on Earth are the ones that should be protecting the Earth. You know.
Okay.
Which was supposed to be Gohan, but he never did his training. He was always just fucking studying bullshit, you know?
He's a goddamn PC. That bitch got books in his brains.
Being a nerd.
Yeah. Nerd! Even to the degree of neglecting, like, picking up his daughter and stuff, as we see in that Superheroes movie.
That killed me, dude.
Well, and he's just crutching on Piccolo, just like his father before him.
Well, is Goku was trying to save the world, or was trying to get stronger to save the world? Well, in this one, Gohan just wanted to read books and shit.
And he was studying a bug that kind of goes Super Saiyan in its own way.
Yeah, you gotta check out these ants. They get pretty mad.
Yeah, and then they change in form, you know, and they turn golden. Kind of like us, you know? Broly was definitely a good way to scale power. You know, both of where Broly's at, Goku and Vegeta and Frieza, post-Tournament of Power, post-Ultra Instinct, post-Vegeta, what was it called? Because he transformed a second time in the Tournament of Power.
Man, we all know the scaling was garbage in that movie.
Oh god, it's the power levels are bullshit. That's rule number 1.
Power levels are bullshit.
Struggling with a regular Saiyan, basically. Like, they were red-haired Saiyans, you know, they were Super Saiyan God, and they were fighting Broly at his base level. Where is the scaling?
Power levels. Super Saiyans and you!
I was kind of confused on like how strong these guys were supposed to be, and yet Broly's just tapping into his Monkey Man powers.
And he wasn't even tapping into any actual power because he had his regular hair. He was just a pissed off Saiyan fighting these assholes, and there was nothing else to it, dude. He was just pissed off fighting them. He didn't even turn Super Saiyan until they turned blue. They were Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. They were tripled over on their goddamn Super Saiyan shit.
I just remembered that Vegeta form. It was called Blue Evolve.
There is no proper scaling to this. It is just all nonsense.
Just whatever's convenient.
I love these fucking cartoons so much, but there's nothing proper to it.
There's no consistency, really, to it.
Scaling is fucking out the window.
If you actually did watch Dragon Ball Super with the Tournament of Power, that was fucking stupid too.
Yeah, that one was pretty bonkers. The scaling on that one was crazy. How many people got amped up and how many people got fucking nerfed?
It was just ridiculously dumb.
Yeah, that was a hard one. The scaling in Tournament of Power was probably the most ridiculous thing. Maybe in Dragon Ball history as far as scaling, confusing inconsistencies go.
And that's what bugs me, inconsistency.
So, I guess I want to ask, because that definitely go into some critiques here, but let's see your some favorite parts of this movie.
I actually got a lot. Frieza's intro from the start in the English dub, Hello Monkeys, it's just fucking so spot on fandom Frieza,
I feel like they did a great job going between regular 2D animation to CGI. And I
Yeah.
love when shit got wild and they got like into a different dimension when they were fighting Broly.
Dude, they like busted a pocket dimension and then still kept fighting. It was fucking crazy.
Oh, dude, the graphics were fucking phenomenal for that. I will give them that much.
Yeah.
It was tits.
Yeah, it was definitely the best animated Dragon Ball movie ever made.
It was great tits, dude. I give them props for that one. That was one of my favorite parts.
I gotta say my favorite parts were probably like the recap and like the lore behind all of the Saiyan world and the origins of Broly. I thought that was super tight. I did like that.
It piqued your curiosity.
I felt like it was also a little weak too, but that's also coming for me when I've seen so many other movies too. Like I feel like have you ever seen Cooler's Revenge? They sort of did like a half-ass version of that as well, but they made Bardock way more badass.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they even had like their own Bardock movie. Actually, they've had two Bardock movies.
I want to say the one was a TV special, the other one was technically called Episode of Bardock.
Well, the TV special still equivalent to being a Dragon Ball Z movie, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not technically considered one. It's just stupid stickler shit. Ignore me.
It's hard when it comes to continuity, but I don't know why, but I just love Bardock.
That Bardock's a pretty cool guy. He conquers planets and doesn't afraid of anything.
Dude, Bardock's a fucking badass. He's also, I mean, there's a little bit of that almost like conspiracy, It's that rebellion. It's 1776. It is fighting and standing up to the death against the tyrants who oppress you.
He's like the basic low-class warrior Saiyan, but he surpasses his class and just fucking whoops ass. Like, even at the beginning of Dragon Ball Super Broly, he was meeting his death, but he was fucking still giving his Saiyan spirit, blowing that goddamn blast into it, just trying to give it a whack.
If you're gonna die, die trying.
And he definitely did it. He is a badass, in my opinion.
There's no doubt about it. He may not be that great of a father until this movie, even then that's questionable. He is certainly a fucking badass motherfucker. There's no doubt about that. He's one hell of a warrior.
Interpretations of Bardock, and he's usually a terrible father, which that's how Saiyans supposed to be. They don't give a shit about their kids.
What would Dad do in this situation? Bye, son! I'm beginning to think I have issues.
But in this one, they made him seem like he cared. They even showed he had a wife. He's never.
Yeah, that was our first time ever. Yeah, that was our first time seeing Gine. We used to think it was that other girl. I wish I could remember her name right now. Like the one female Saiyan in frickin' the Bardock Father of Goku special.
Yeah. But yeah, like it sort of bugs me that they show that Bardock actually cares about his kid.
It wasn't too much though. It was like just enough. Like he's like, hey, the planet's probably gonna blow up. Like he was already suspecting Frieza was gonna pull bullshit.
So like Raditz didn't even give a shit about his brother, and he's young. Like the younger you are, the more compassionate you're supposed to be. And Raditz like, I don't care about my brother dying.
Yeah, but Raditz had already conquered. I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess you're right. It could be. I don't know. I'm having a hard time trying to justify it, but.
Say that Raditz already conquered planets, but at the same time, Bardock, his wife, they've all conquered planets.
Yeah. But I would assume a father would care more about their son than a brother would care about a brother in the early stages of adolescence, as far as like dependency and worry. Like, why would like a 6-year-old give a shit? He's too busy living his life, killing and eating. Because he was kind of groomed that way. Working with Vegeta and Nappa and all those guys.
Well, the rest of the Saiyans, they seemed concerned about it, though.
About what?
Well, do you remember, like, Nappa and the other generic Saiyans that were with them? They're the ones that mentioned,
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's right. They were even shocked by that response. So maybe it's not that normal to be that inconsiderate or unconcerned.
Brothers. I didn't even know Vegeta had a brother until this movie.
He does. Tarble, I believe his name is.
Yeah, but yeah, I didn't even know he had a brother until this movie, and yeah, they mentioned that shit to him, and Vegeta did not give a shit, and then Raditz didn't give a shit about his brother. Granted, obviously he does because he shows up in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. I want to go back to some of the favorite parts. I absolutely love the whole thing they did with Ba's ear. That little waistcoat that Broly always wore around his hip, because the original Broly designs, like from all the way back in the day, he always had like a little waistcoat, kind of little curtain cape thing on his hip, and they actually gave it a purpose, and actually a fairly good one too, considering the whole thing.
Also, I'm curious if that creature might show up later on too, because his waistcoat that you're mentioning, it was just the creature's ear that was blown off by Paragus.
His dad shot off, yeah.
Yeah, so that creature isn't necessarily dead,
No, he's not dead. Broly specifically states that Ba was never the same after that. So the implication is that Ba was, he wasn't his friend anymore.
But Broly's back on the original planet, so I'm curious to see if they'll try to show that creature back again, because I did appreciate that backstory for him. That was cute.
Yeah, it was cute. It was simple, and yet it was pretty compelling and sad, I think, considering.
Agreed.
Also, the other big one is Broly hating Vegeta instead of Goku, because god damn it, man. The original Broly movie, if you guys don't know, it was literally Broly absolutely hate Kakarot. In fact, 90% of his dialogue was just yelling the word Kakarot because he was stuck next to him when they were babies, and Goku wouldn't stop crying. And it really got on his nerves. That was literally fucking original Broly's whole fucking thing.
Terrible plot.
It was terrible. Well, the main plot was just Paragus hating Vegeta. But then it was Broly hates Goku cause cry? I don't know.
And it still had Paragus hating Vegeta, but at least Broly wasn't obsessed with Kakarot.
Yeah, and he only hated Vegeta through Paragus. But I thought that was really important comparatively by the movies. When Frieza's freaking telling Paragus that like Broly can do whatever he wants with Vegeta, and then he does that like immediate shift change, about how Goku is his though, like he's got dibs on killing Goku, and freaking, I don't know, I just, for some reason, I don't know, I really liked that, just that absolute, almost bipolar shift, in mannerism and attitude, Hello? Who's Hammer? Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I had to use the restroom real fast. I had to mute myself.
Oh, it's okay. I keep swearing I'm hearing like someone snoring.
1 second, wife's calling me.
Okay. You there, Matt? Matt? Matt?
You there?
I'm here. I don't know if Matt's here. I've been trying to get his attention.
Yeah, I haven't heard him in a while.
Yeah, and I thought I kept hearing. I heard snoring. Are you there, Matt?
You're hearing snoring?
I thought I did. Maybe I was tripping, but it was like 2 or 3 times, like a.
Huh?
I don't know. What the fuck? I assume we're still recording. I mean, I could just keep talking. Freaking.
Well, yeah,
I guess we'll just keep going, assuming he's still fucking recording. So, I like seeing Glass Press Goku just for a moment. That was kind of funny. That stupid ass face.
Glass press? What do you mean?
When he presses his face up against that glass with those Frieza soldiers.
Oh.
It's just fucking goofy, but, it's such a change of pace. It was just kind of silly and fun.
I really did appreciate this movie. It gives me hope. I know I've mentioned before, but I love Cooler's Revenge. And I am hoping they might bring in Cooler eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Cooler, dude, fucking, he's a fan favorite. As far as non-canon people go, him and Broly Broly now is canon. He's up there as far as fans wanting Cooler to be fucking a real thing.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. All the Dragon Ball Z movies were great, but fucking the fact that they brought in Broly as canon, it gives me hope that maybe they might bring in Cooler. Like fucking Turles as well eventually.
Are you hearing that? Is Hammer asleep snoring?
I hear some kind of funky breathing.
Yeah, it's straight up snoring on his end. I think he's asleep. Let's just go through this. So, freaking
how? No way he's asleep because
he's snoring straight into the mic, dude.
Matthew.
God Damn. Okay, hold on. I guess I'll try to just hurry up then. I love that they almost had to. They put a fucking Goku biting Broly.
Yeah.
Which is like it's his go-to up there with Kamehameha and fucking instantaneous transmission, you know?
Dragon Ball status right there.
What?
That's Dragon Ball, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Goku fighting somebody.
Oh, dude, that is his signature move, dude, is biting you.
Yeah, well, honestly, you know, when it's a life-death situation, you bite the fucker.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is to the death, man. You know, you're trying to live.
This is no game, you're fighting to live!
Like, you brought it up, but, like, they made it look like we were going to get a classic beam struggle, like we've had a million times.
Yeah.
And instead broke the dimension for momentarily. You know, that was quite the switch.
That is the best graphics I have ever seen in a animation movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the animation, like it was phenomenal. Like breaking that dimension, where the fuck they went when they're fighting each other was bonkers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was a memorable scene.
I'm curious about how it actually works in their continuity, but beyond that, though, just the graphics itself and how it all played out was badass.
Also loved seeing basically killer Gogeta. You know what I mean? Like, he was ready to fucking kill him, dude. I fucking kind of... It was like so... It was dark, you know? It got dark at the very, very end of that fight, you know?
Well, then also, if I remember right, you told me that that's the first time we actually ever going to see Gogeta in canon Dragon Ball.
In canon, I want to say yes.
Yeah,
Gogeta specifically, because we've seen Vegito a couple times.
Because the only ever time we ever see Gogeta is in Dragon Ball GT, and that never happened.
And the Janemba movie.
But we also specified too that all the other Dragon Ball Z / GT movies never happened.
No, I agree. I'm just saying it wasn't just GT; it was also in the Janemba movie.
Oh, I thought Janemba movie was a GT movie.
I don't think so. No, there's only one GT movie, and it's not the Janemba movie.
Oh, I thought Janemba was GT.
No, it's the.
Oh.
It still doesn't count. And actually, I'm glad you brought that up because they use fucking Gogeta's move from the Janemba movie. Fucking, oh god, what the fuck's it called? Stardust. God, I can't believe I'm fucking this up right now. How am I forgetting his move?
Is that when he like blazes a whole bunch of shards?
It's when he has that colorful rainbow ball. It's like Stardust Breaker.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna look it up right fucking now. I feel like such a bad Dragon Ball fan.
Don't. Look it up. Don't feel bad.
Yeah, it's called Stardust Breaker. It's got Soul Punisher is the other name for it. So yeah, but when it's that Stardust Breaker and Soul Punisher, you know, it was cool to see Gogeta really use that in canon. And of course, like I said, just fucking seeing killer fucking Gogeta, that was so fucking sick.
When you see Gogeta and you know it's Vegeta that's in charge.
Exactly, 100%. Because you know Goku, he's always holding back.
He's a fucking idiot.
Goku's always holding back, always.
Vegeta says himself too. He always calls Kakarot an idiot.
Yeah, no, he is, you know. So let's go cover critiques or scenes that deserve hate. Not necessarily hate, just like, you know, whatever, critiques, you know, whatever you got.
Ooh, critiques.
That 5 centimeter taller thing, you know, I know it's a funny joke and it's a convenient bridge to getting Broly and Paragus to Vegeta and Goku in this whole Saiyan reunion, but...
Also, the 5 centimeter joke was also, I think it was like a wink towards Bulma's thing for when he'd be 5 years younger.
Yeah, well, and like I said, his whole hand gestures and stuff, again, referenced the whole Namek destroyed in 5 minutes.
It was showing how they're both just superficial. Like Bulma.
Yeah, that no one, it doesn't matter if you're Frieza or, you know, the Z team or whatever, they're all misusing the Dragon Balls, you know?
It just shows that Bulma is as bad as Frieza.
I mean, in comparison of wasting a wish, they definitely are just neglectful of the real power that they are holding here.
Yeah, having the power to actually change the universe, the world, the galaxy, whatever you want to say for better. You're using it to make yourself look 5 years younger or 5 centimeters taller.
Right.
Bulma is not a good person.
How could you?
Well, she definitely has a lot of selfish aspects to her, that's for sure. Kind of always had, like I said, she's always kind of had that whole thing about her looks, her insecurities and then her partners and all that stuff.
I feel like through Capsule Corp, she does donate and help out with the Z Warriors and whatnot. So she's sort of participating in the security of the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, man, snoring his goddamn ass off.
Yeah, I know it. I'm gonna just try to burn through this. So, Nappa with hair will never not be fucking ridiculous.
Oh, by the way, I unlocked that on Xenoverse 2. I unlocked Nappa with hair.
Nice. I just have a hard time even looking at him with the toupee.
If I remember right, there was an older Dragon Ball.
An older Dragon Ball what? Oh my fucking god. Did your phone die? Your headphones die? I mean, is this podcast episode just not supposed to fucking happen?
What I would give to be free of this pain.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Okay, fucking A.
Sorry, my screen blanked out.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
For some reason, when my screen blanks out, now I can't talk to you guys. I don't understand why. But anyways, I was trying to say, so there's an older Dragon Ball Z movie that I remember for a fact that there's Nappa with hair as well. It is a thing. And then also, you heard me too before my screen blanked out. I unlocked Nappa with a toupee Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Yeah, on Xenoverse 2. Yeah, no, I heard that. I'd definitely like to see that. You know, I'm gonna have to beat you with that now.
I know. I'm excited.
I didn't like. I know it's again. These are jokes, but sometimes they kind of take away from it. Beerus being reduced to as a babysitter.
I'm a destroyer god, not a babysitter!
Kind of funny, but it's also, we're kind of seeing how quickly Beerus has fallen.
I also being attracted to that green girl.
That was in the superheroes movie we watched.
No, that's in this one.
Nope.
You sure?
I'm 100% positive. Beerus doesn't even meet Chile until the superheroes movie.
How does she show up in the superheroes movie though? Because Broly's not in that one.
Oh, actually, I take that back. God damn it! Holy shit! He is for a moment, isn't he? Broly. I'm so stupid. I said he wasn't earlier. In the superheroes movie, remember? Beerus gets fucking upset at Goku because Goku let fucking Lemo, Chili, and freaking Broly all hang out on Beerus's home world. They got them off of Vampa.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I said earlier that Broly wasn't in any of the other stuff after Super that I know of, and he was right there in that movie we watched.
But anyway, so Beerus is attracted to that green bitch.
Yes.
And there's this bug. I don't know why that bugs me, but it bugs me because I thought he was beyond that kind of petty bullshit.
That's not even what bugs me. I don't like them fucking crowbarring a fucking love triangle between Broly and Chile.
Broly is too goddamn to know what love is, and then Beerus is in the green bitch.
Yeah, but Broly is. Chile likes Broly. Broly likes Chile. I think maybe not. I don't. They set them up as a couple, and we all kind of know that.
As Matthew would say, or as Frieza would say, he's a dumb monkey.
He's a bumpkin for sure, not unlike Goku.
Well, he is just a dumb monkey. Like, he literally grew up on a planet without nothing. He knows nothing.
Either way, I like the Broly Chile. I don't like the Beerus Chile thing. I kind of don't like that at all.
Why would Beerus be attracted to her of all of the creatures he's seen in 1,000 years of existence?
Lord Beerus does have a type, you see.
Well, that's just it. Maybe he hasn't gotten laid in 1,000 years, man. Fuck.
Also, like, what? He wouldn't have to work for it, Like, he gets embarrassed, or he wants to impress her. It's like, dude, you don't have to impress her. Just fuck her.
Please remember your manners.
If you're unhappy, you blow up their fucking planet. Like that is what a god of destruction does. He would eat someone's food and he didn't like the food that they made him. He literally blew up planet.
Tell you what, I'll only take half. Half, my lord?
There goes fucking 8 billion people.
Yeah, so I'm trying to just go through this. We need to wrap this up. Broly never drank water before. I thought that was fucking weird. To live your entire life without drinking a drop of water I assume a similarly carbon-based life form, that just sounds insane. I don't even know how that's possible.
I know he drank the bug juices from the creatures.
That's true, and there could be enough water in there, but where does that come from? It's got to come from somewhere.
Exactly. Everybody has to have water.
There's got to be some water on that planet. I would not necessarily, but I would assume at least certainly for Broly to live on it. Not necessarily the creatures on the planet, but a Saiyan. I would assume a Saiyan needs to drink water.
Well, some form of water.
I certainly know a Namekian wouldn't survive on fucking Vampa. That's for sure.
Piccolo would have been.
He would have been thirstier than fucking Beerus, if you know what I mean.
No Nameco having ass.
But, so Goku hitting that pause button on Broly just to do a monologue? Fucking redonk.
Yeah, I know, I thought that was hilarious. Or also, when Goku and Vegeta are fighting Broly and then they drag them to Frieza. I think we already went over that, but I thought that was hilarious too.
Absolutely.
It was like drag Broly over to Frieza, and Frieza's getting his ass whooped for like an hour and a half.
Now, granted, so there's obviously positive and negatives to dub and sub. I wanted to just bring up a point that you kind of almost got to compare. An example. Remember Frieza describing Planet Vampa in the English version, the English dub, as repugnant? Remember, and there was a whole joke about Goku not knowing what repugnant means. In the Japanese one, it's actually a different word. It's inimical.
It's what?
The word is inimical, not repugnant. Inimical. INIMICAL, which means tending to obstruct or harm, unfriendly or hostile, which actually is a more accurate word. I would describe Vampa definitely more as inimical than repugnant. Because repugnant, even though the way he uses it, it does work, but usually when I hear repugnant, it sounds to me more like gross and grotesque rather than violent or harsh.
Honestly, inhospitable would be appropriate for that planet.
Indeed, but that's just they're looking for a big funny word. That's just it. If having Frieza say inimical, God, I can't even say it, and having Goku, what is that? It all is kind of relatable, but Goku not knowing repugnant is a little more ridiculous comparatively.
The new word that you're throwing out there, that sounds like basically inhospitable, right?
Indeed.
Fucking
but the point is, there's a lot of things like that. There always is why, even though I felt like the English music is almost always superior, Japanese mono with the English dub is definitely the better way to truly understand the whole thing. Ratings and closing thoughts. Although Broly didn't say much, it was really nice seeing Broly have actual character instead of just yelling at Kakarot all the time. This was a good, rounded family movie with action, comedy, epic transformation, and arguably the best graphics ever, but we've gone through that a lot. Yeah, and even better than the superhero movie that we see afterwards. Broly tops the movie that came out 4 years later.
This Broly movie, I feel like, was way better than Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, no, it was fucking great. I mean, that was just a strong one.
I also have bad feelings about it too because of the fact that they have androids in that one that are younger than the Z fighters. I don't know, that just bugs the hell out of me, humans have the power to make these kind of creatures.
Well, I mean, the humans technically made Cell, right?
They did create Cell, but Cell gained his power from absorbing other creatures.
Other creatures that they also had their own hand in messing with. They were just playing off of the Cell Saga. There wasn't much original to that. They just made, hey, look, the Cell Saga again, but it's fucking even more amped. Isn't that crazy? And Gohan beats Cell again. Isn't that crazy?
Let us finally develop our plan to kill Son Goku.
Pass. Instead, how about we develop a plan to kill Son Gohan?
Oh, no, we're talking.
And then the scale, I mean, it's just so fucking inconsistent. It does make it very difficult.
Where do we draw the line? It's just those basic androids that were made that just bug the hell out of me.
Yeah, they did come out of left field for sure.
Yeah, they were just too powerful for what they were.
Yeah, it was definitely a little hard to believe just purely on their own.
Also, the thing about Cell Max was a recreation of Cell, at least. So, we all know that Cell was super powerful. Yeah. But they messed around with Cell and they made him Cell Max.
Yeah, well, they have to because I mean, dude, they said that Deborah in the Boo saga was as strong as Perfect Cell in the Cell saga. Point is, they really had to amp up Cell because by the time we hit Super, I mean, Cell is a fucking pipsqueak. By the time you get to Super, he's irrelevant. Anywho, so I do need to keep going through though. Love the animation, variety styles. This whole thing was a good reminder that Dragon Ball still has it after all these fucking years, after all these fucking decades. Goofy ass premise, but I mean, otherwise, it was my favorite Dragon Ball movie of all time. I mean, we keep talking about having the best fights in Dragon Ball history, and that is saying a fucking lot because there are so many countless epic fights throughout, dude.
It definitely had the best animation, but its soundtrack though, it didn't have much of a soundtrack. Like there's no actual soundtrack to it.
Yeah, I don't really remember anything popping out. I mean, even the Broly movie that we were watching, it was like, they at least had like them, Gogeta. But in the superhero movie, I don't even remember shit. I don't remember any fucking beat or sound or anything.
I don't think they do an English soundtrack or an American soundtrack anymore.
That actually makes sense now that you bring that up.
And I feel like they really should bring that back. But at the same time, though, maybe they don't do that because their movies are canonical now. So they don't want it to be misinterpreted or, viewed differently.
All I know is that talking about Broly, even though we've done it forever, it won't do it justice. And all you listening out there, you got to just see it for yourself. My thoughts going forward, all this, and this comes back to Akira Toriyama passing away. I don't know what's going to happen for the future of Dragon Ball. Before Akira Toriyama passed away, I know that Fuji TV and Shueisha were demanding more manga. And of course, Akira Toriyama with Toyotaro kind of do the manga, but they were demanding more manga than just the Moro and Granola arcs that are out there. And Akira Toriyama was also working on Dragon Ball Daima, which I think you may have talked before is like this chibi arc thing that they were kind of working on, which kind of goes back all the way back to original Dragon Ball. I would argue Goku, Dr. Slump, and Arali, those are all kind of chibis,
Daima was supposed to sort of be like Dragon Ball GT, if I remember right.
I don't know actually any of the details of what it's supposed to be. All I know is it's just like little cutesy, big-headed, small-bodied, that kind of thing. And that was the last thing he was working on, so I know a lot of people are wanting to watch that just because that's the last piece of Akira Toriyama.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like Dragon Ball GT, where he was trying to go back to his roots.
I don't know. Toyotaro, being the one that did the, Dragon Ball Super's manga under Toriyama's supervision, he's likely going to be the one holding the reins as far as this goes. And I know there's other good swath of other apprentices under Akira Toriyama as well. I just know that Toyotaro is the main one. He's the one that Toriyama entrusted with the manga, and I think that's likely where it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to be, but only time will tell what the future of Dragon Ball really holds. That I'd like to just quickly plug in. I started a TikTok and a YouTube channel where I'm gonna start posting like just little clips of me playing Fortnite every now and again. Nothing big, just just thought it'd be fun, maybe just some a good highlight here and there of a good shot or two if I happens to come by it, in my spare time. You can see that at Majindir, Majindir. It's the same way both on YouTube and on TikTok, so you can find me there, subscribe, follow, like, whatever. I'd appreciate it. And until then, tune in next time for another exciting episode of Nerd Night Perspective.
Oh, and by the way, seriously though, check out the old Dragon Ball Z movies, particularly the dubs. They had great music soundtrack to them.
Yeah, the American music soundtracks of a lot of the old movies, like you're talking Cooler and all those, they were freaking epic as fuck. There's no denying it.
The whole scene was so much more intense. And I remember I watched the dub with you one time for Cooler's Revenge, but we had the original Japanese music.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was in the settings. It was preset to automatically have the Japanese music on.
John, it was fucking lame. It was fucking lame, I'll be honest.
Comparatively so. I mean, even, okay, like the intro of Dragon Ball Z, we talk about Chala, Head Chala. Even as much as I like Chala, like, as an intro, nothing sparks in my head like Rock the Dragon.
That's also hardcore nostalgia for you, too.
True that. That's my roots. That's where I watched Dragon Ball. That's how I watched it. That's what I knew Dragon Ball to be, was Rock the Dragon. But great talking, Kev. I don't know what the fuck was in fucking Matt's wine that knocked him out in the middle of the fucking pod.
I think he got drugged. I think his girlfriend put his ass down for the night.
Right? Put a little something in that meatloaf.
Alright, well, hugs and kisses. I will chat with you another time, brother.
Yeah, of course. And thanks for everyone who's listening. Love you, Kev. I'll catch you on the flip.
Alright, sounds good, brother.
Alright, ladies.
Alright, good night. Love you.
Good night. And good night to you too, my sleepy prince. Hopefully this all actually recorded.